We did it again. Verizon was just named America's most reliable network by Root Metrics for the 16th time in a row, proving once again that nobody builds networks like Verizon builds networks. That's why we're building 5G right. That's why there's only one best network, Verizon. Best and most reliable based on Root Metrics reports from second half 2013 to first half 2021 of 3 operators on all network types combined, not specific to 5G networks.
Fall is a season of gathering that brings us together with warmth and color. So whether it's a birthday, anniversary, or a special event, celebrate your friends and family with a gorgeous bouquet of roses from 1-800-Flowers.com. 1-800-Flowers makes it easy to brighten someone's day with 24 multicolored roses for just $39.99. To get 24 multicolored roses for just $39.99, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/tune-in. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/tune-in.
I can't count the reasons I should stay. One by one, they all just fade away.
Welcome to Greendale! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast about the NBC cult comedy classic Community. I'm Michael Smallwood, along with
Jillian Clayton Smallwood
and
Sadia Matthews.
And today we are talking about Season 4, Episode 2, Paranormal Parentage, Jillian Synopsis.
The study group's Halloween plans are put on hold when Pierce locks himself in the panic room of his haunted mansion.
This episode was directed by Tristram Shapiro, written by Megan Gantz, and it aired February 14th, 2013. Sadia, initial thoughts.
Halloween episode.
Another Halloween episode.
Yay. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
I mean, saying Dean, can we just immediately talk about the Dean in the Ring Girl costume?
It was perfect.
I wrote, is the Dean is now what? Intercepting Jeff's text messages? Jeff and Annie say, this is why we can't discuss our costumes via text, right? Like, Annie wants to talk about them in person. Jeff does not. Is the Dean reading Jeff's text messages?
I'm not going to put it past him, but I prefer to assume that the Dean and Jeff are just meant to cosplay together, and that Jeff is looking to the wrong people to be costume partners. I think it's time for him to just accept that the only person who is going to be on his level with these cosplays is the Dean.
Yes.
No one else.
Okay.
That's what I choose to believe. That's my ship.
She's
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with this.
She's ignoring the creepy implications and
100%.
just going for Kismet.
Okay, yeah, we're just ignoring the stalking and just going into how cute the stalking is.
It's the Dean.
So we're ignoring the stalking.
No,
and going
there's
into
not.
how
I'm
cute.
not
Like
saying
last
let's ignore it. It exists. It's the understood one of the equation. We move on from it.
Okay.
We move
all right,
on
great.
from it.
Cool.
Last
Great.
episode we did
understand.
we did realize that he was moved into the same apartment that Jeff lives in on the same floor.
Maybe the powers that be are just pushing them. All right.
This is troubling. This is a troubling take.
I mean, sure. If you want the real answer, yes, the Dean is probably somehow. But how would he intercept them?
I don't know, but we know for a fact that he was reading his emails. I'm wondering now.
But that's
if he's
easy.
reading...
That makes more sense.
Absolutely,
Like,
but I'm
you can
wondering
do that.
now if he's reading his text messages because clearly Jeff and Annie had a conversation via text message that the Dean knows about, unless they mentioned it once offline. The Dean heard it and ran with it with no other information about it. That's even crazier.
I want to just point out that, let's say that is correct. This is just giving me a little more foundation with my theory that Jeff just needs to, like, if all the Dean heard was, yeah, I'm thinking you be my ring girl. Bam. Annie does not understand what's happening, but the Dean picks it up immediately, comes with the perfect fit.
I think Annie understands what's happening a little bit more.
I think she does not. I think she was very much clueless, but also glad that she didn't understand the assignment.
I think, well, the way she calls him out about it, about like, who's naive? I'm not going to be your little ring girl, implies to me that like, maybe she kind of.
Nah.
Maybe she didn't get it at all.
No. She didn't get it, and when she did get it, she was thankful.
She didn't get it until she showed up and saw what he dressed as.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that reaction
You're
whenever she
right.
sees how he's dressed is like totally.
And you know what? That's okay. That is her right. If she does not want to be a ring girl, that's fine. You know who does? The dean.
I mean, the dean wants to do the couple's costume, and
he
Annie just
killed
doesn't.
it.
Annie just
No?
Annie just
Look,
doesn't
he
understand the
looks
couple's
great.
costume.
He looks great.
It's not a debate about whether or not he killed it.
Honest-
The wig game was strong.
Yeah.
The outfit was strong.
The
Like,
outfit was strong. The
it's-
wig game was strong. He looked great. No one's arguing that the dean and Jeff would not slay couples costumes. I'm arguing that the dean cannot make himself
dean-
a part of a couple's
that the
costume.
dean needs a restraining order.
I'm arguing that the dean is sexually
You have no
harassing a
proof.
student.
Prove that he is intercepting a text message, and then we will talk.
I can't prove that he's intercepting text messages, but I can prove that he is sexually harassing a student at his school. I have multiple witnesses.
There's tons of proof for that. We can't argue against that. And Dean, when the cops do make their way over to your office, there's not much I'm gonna be able to say on your behalf.
Just be quiet and wait for your lawyer, Dean. That's all we can tell you. Craig, just be quiet, wait for your lawyer, buddy. I mean, the costumes this year are pretty good.
I want to say that I actually think that, like, whenever we're going across the board talking about everybody, like looking at the whole,
group? Is this the best crop of costumes?
I think holistically it's the best crop of costumes. Yeah. I do think holistically it's the best crop of costumes.
Number one, they still haven't had a year where everyone's been in costume on Halloween.
Who's
Because
not?
Pierce isn't in costume.
Well,
Yeah.
He wasn't invited to Vicky's party.
He's running a haunted house. You know, I feel like,
But that's not him in costume.
He's not in costume.
Yeah. I'm just glad that nobody was playing dumb like they didn't know what Shirley was dressed as this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely know
That's
what
what
she's dressed
Look,
as.
well, because like other times, look, season 1 again. Shirley's
No.
vague as fuck.
No.
I would have gone Urkel too.
No. It's
Yeah.
not Urkel.
She's absolutely Harry Potter.
She's
I
just
would not
very
have-
clearly Harry
She's
Potter, and
absolutely Harry
I would
Potter.
not
I'm
have
going
known
to
Harry
continue
Potter.
to stand. I'm going to die on the hill
I
that
would not have
everyone
known Harry
assumed
Potter.
Urkel because she is black.
Because she's a black woman.
I'm
Yeah.
100%.
When has
I'll
Harry
die
Potter
on this
ever
hill.
worn suspenders?
It's a bad Harry Potter costume.
When has Harry Potter
It's a
ever worn
bad Harry
suspenders?
Potter
She needed
costume?
suspenders.
But
This
there's-
ain't about Harry.
There's no way.
This
that
ain't about Harry. This is about her. This is about Shirley.
There's
and
no
the
way.
Support.
As a person moving in time, I would not have looked at her and gone, "Oh, nice Urkel costume." Because there's no way I would have assumed she was Urkel. I would have defaulted to Harry Potter.
She's not even doing an Urkel accent.
She's not doing the voice. Yeah,
She's not doing. She isn't really doing a Harry Potter accent.
Well,
either.
I'm sure there are American kids that went to Hogwarts. Like this.
No, because there's American
I mean,
schools.
you're wrong. Wayne definitely went to Hogwarts.
Look, we're not counting Puffs, Michael.
How are you not counting Puffs? It's definitely canon. How dare you? How dare you not count Puffs? This is the problem. The Puffs don't get enough respect. Third or nothing.
I am a Hufflepuff.
I know,
What
and
talking
you are
about?
self-hating because Wayne went to Hogwarts. Third or nothing.
But
I didn't mean to start whatever this is. I actually haven't seen most of the Harry Potter movies. I don't know what you're doing.
like, and then like the second year, Glenda is a bit less. Glenda's less vague. Glenda's less
She's
vague.
absolutely Glinda the Good Witch.
Yeah.
She's certainly not Miss Piggy,
Yeah.
which everyone thinks that she is in the second year.
Glenda is less vague. Like I'm gonna fight y'all about season 1's costume to the death because like nothing about that red as a Hogwarts uniform.
Blow it up,
at all.
Sadia. Blow it up. It's fine. We understand. Like, Sadia and I get it.
Don't.
Sadia and I get it. She's absolutely
Y'all
not
making me
Urkel.
fist bump Michael over this.
But like,
I don't.
Y'all
And then-
disagree, y'all.
I don't know how I feel about the lack of wanting to fist bump me. You know what? I'm just
I
gonna
don't
go
like.
ahead.
I hate fist bumping people. Like that's weird to me. That's odd to me. My knuckles on someone else's nut. I'm wearing rings. Like, was that weird? I don't know.
I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't get it. I don't get what's wrong with you. We'll come up with a high five offline when Jillian's not here.
Yeah, a little like a secret hand.
We'll come up with a thing. I got a couple handshakes we can do. Yeah. I'll pull one out. We'll put it together. Jillian, however, because she thinks because you think she's Urkel, you can't high five us. You can't come to this cookout. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We'll make our own handshake or a secret something because we think that the frog thing was a good prank.
Yeah, you guys thought the frog thing was a good prank. So you have your own little.
We'll have our own thing.
Your own little group.
But then season 3 we don't really do costumes because
they tell stories.
Because they tell stories.
Yeah.
So this is and this one she is Leia. She has the buns. Like, it's not even some weird approximation or a vague costume. Like, she tried.
It's in fact a part of a family group costume that she was doing with the boys.
Yeah,
and
like, she tried this time, which she didn't in season 1. Like, she didn't try in season 1.
I will grant you that it is a hastily thrown together and bad Harry Potter costume. I will also die on the hill that she was clearly Harry Potter.
I feel like the Leia costume probably was less effort than the
absolutely.
Harry Potter costume.
Leia's an easier costume.
Yeah, she's just wearing all white and she's got some.
But it was also part.
But
it was part of a group costume.
Also, it was very explicitly Leia.
It was part of a group costume that she did
like,
with the family.
she didn't just throw on her white nightgown. It was a fitted Leia costume.
Well, yeah.
She put the work in.
Like, she didn't just go to her wardrobe and pull some random shit out that she was like, this might kind of seem like I'm this character.
I would also argue that she put the work in for Glinda the Good Witch because the dress.
She did.
No,
1000%.
The dress fit well. The hair looked great. Yeah. Like, she had all the accoutrement.
She did. That was just a reference that, like, we were stretching it to, to do
all the accoutrement.
But yeah, she absolutely. But this is the one that is just. I mean, Leia. It's pretty hard to become not recognizable as Leia whenever you are doing the buns.
Yeah.
Like, there are other Leia costumes that you could get away, like, you could get confused, but if you're doing the buns, like, you're probably Leia.
Yeah.
So we've gone through 3 different costumed Halloween episodes, and I do agree that I think because Jeff isn't in costume in years 1 or 2.
Like, in 1, he is a quote-unquote cowboy.
Jeff's wearing
2,
his clothes and a hat.
David Beckham.
Yeah. Jeff's not in a costume in the first 2 years. But this is... And, like, Pierce obviously isn't in costume this year. But it's nice to see everyone in, like, actual costumes throughout. So I agree. This is the best the group looks. All their costumes are really good.
Like, it's Annie's best costume.
You didn't like the skeleton in year 1 for her party?
It's so awkward.
It's real dumb.
It's real dumb. And then season 2, she does, like, her Red Riding Hood is fine. Like, it's good. Like, it's fine.
It's fine. I really liked that one.
It's cute. It's cute, and it is totally the kind of costume a girl in college would wear to a party.
Absolutely.
Right? Like,
absolutely.
It was cutesy. Yeah. There was nothing like... She wasn't making her look weird or anything. I'm pretty sure the girls were nicely featured in that costume, if I remember correctly. Like, it was definitely a good costume.
The girls. You just got that.
It was like, who else was in this
You just
costume?
got it. Yeah. No,
Alison Brie's breasts.
The biddies.
Alison Brie's breasts.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, right? She just goes.
Biddies.
Hide your biddies.
Biddies. I'm sorry. We almost got through it. The biddies. That's so dumb. Okay.
And then this one, she like fully goes in on something. Like it's fully going in. It's not worrying about being cute or anything like that. It's just a full commitment. Even
the skeleton is like a fitted bodysuit the first year.
Yeah. Which is part of the. There's that whole punchline in that one where Britta says something about the sexualization, and she's like, "Yeah," and then she like whips off this cape, and it's a fitted bodysuit, and she's prancing away.
I'm gonna say this. This is my least favorite. Like, the drumstick is my least favorite of the Britta costumes.
Oh man.
I love
the drumstick.
I love this drumstick. She's so stupid.
That's
I don't
part of the
dislike it. It's real dumb. It's real cool. Where does she keep getting these giant costumes? But I liked. I think I liked the squirrel the best.
The squirrel is my least favorite.
Really? I'm going squirrel, man.
The squirrel is my least favorite. I think dinosaur is my favorite, but I do like the drumstick in particular because Gillian gets a lot of physical comedy out of the drums, out of being the ham hock.
I will say that, yes.
Yeah.
I liked how uncomfortable she seemed in the squirrel costume.
Yeah.
Like, she went so far in being non-sexy in the squirrel costume that I was like, you're uncomfortable, aren't you? You can't move.
The squirrel costume.
You're carrying a giant, like, acorn. I loved it. I thought it was really great.
Yeah, I liked the ham specifically because there were just too many jokes around it. She looks dumb as hell. It's just stupid. Yeah. It's just dumb. She physically can't move very well in it. I liked watching her fall on the bed as a ham. That was good. I liked that.
Yeah, you're right. The comedy is perfect in the ham. The comedy is perfect in the ham.
It's perfect in the ham.
They don't make it. I mean, some of them do, I guess, but they don't go to Vicky's Halloween party. And I have so many questions about Vicky's Halloween party. Like, she gave Leonard the wrong address, which means Leonard's gonna show up somewhere ready to party. You remember that time that guy just walked into our living room because he thought there was a party going on in our house?
He went to the wrong house. Yeah.
Yeah, Leonard's gonna do that to some people.
Yeah. What?
We were
in this house?
No. Years ago, we were in a house, and it was like a house that we lived in with two other couples, and we're just like, and I think a couple other people might have been there, and we were just sitting around watching TV
in the living room.
Like
we do,
but
in
like,
our
like with roomies.
Yeah, with roommates, just
and so,
at home.
Kind
and
of
it's
probably,
it's
the door was closed.
The door was closed. Like, there was no. But we would leave the door unlocked because there were like 7 of us there.
I can't remember if like maybe the door was open but the screen door was closed.
I don't know. Either way, it's
something.
not a kind of thing. But this dude, because we left it unlocked, this dude walks in. He had like a case of beer
and a girl. He was like holding hands with a girl and like had a case and like walked in and looked around and was confused, and we were confused. And he was like, "Is this not the party?" And we were
party.
And we were like, "No, man, this is not the party."
We're just hanging
and
watching
he looked
TV.
at us.
The party.
Sadia, this man looked us in our faces, looked around and went, "Are you sure?"
The party.
Are you sure? We were like, "Nah, bro, no party going on here." And then he apologetically looked at the girl with them, and then they left. And I don't know if they ever found that party.
I was gonna say, do you guys know where it was? Was it like
no clue,
like a door down?
I think it was somewhere around there. There was another we were in a development, but there was another house that seemed like it also had like 20 somethings that occasionally would have gatherings.
Yeah.
So that was probably where they intended to go.
You guys totally should have just been like, "Yep." We decided
he had nothing we wanted.
No party. We're gonna watch Lilo and Stitch tonight.
He had nothing we wanted.
He had a case of like Bud Light or something.
Yeah, it was like a case of like Miller genuine draft something. Or something. It was like, what do we want? We don't want this, bro. Leave.
So I forget what even got us on that.
Oh, I was talking about
Leonard went to the wrong
Leonard's gonna show up at some family's house, just going, "Where the white women at?" And they're gonna be like, "Please leave, sir." And he's not going to, because he's Leonard. Also, apparently, Vicky got dry ice for the party.
Well, this is not the first.
It's spooky.
This is not.
I guess.
Yeah, it makes the.
It'll do the fog.
Because it's dangerous.
It makes the fog. People get dry ice for.
It's potentially dangerous.
People get dry ice all the time. Like you can't. You have to very much. You physically don't touch it.
Well, yeah.
But like people get dry ice all the time for stuff.
Who's gonna touch dry ice?
Leonard.
I mean, community.
Pierce.
Well, Leonard's not coming. Pierce wasn't invited.
Troy will touch it.
Troy would touch it.
Troy will absolutely touch it.
Don't gotta worry about that.
The dry
They're
ice.
not coming.
He's
it's
not
fine.
coming now.
But this is not the first.
dry ice.
He would, and you know
would
it.
lick it.
He would, and you know, he'd try and put it in a drink. He'd put it in a drink, and when it exploded, Abed would go, "You're using the wrong amount." Yeah, he would try and put it in a drink. It would explode, and then Abed would say, "You're using the wrong amount. Just use less of it."
Oh,
and it would still cause they'd have to go to the hospital. They would go to the hospital that night. 100%.
Damn.
100%.
We can't have nice things.
No, we cannot. Not with this group.
This isn't the first Vicky party we've heard about.
No.
We've heard about a couple of Vicky's parties. Vicky's party songs are epic.
Vicky and
apparently,
who is she dating again? Neil?
Neil.
Yeah, Vicky and Neil are throwing some shindigs. They're becoming like a little power couple for the school.
Yeah.
What, somebody made out? Oh, Britta made out with Starburns at one of Vicky's parties.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
That was a Vicky party that happened.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we have, once again, continuing the tradition. Well, I don't know. What are they? No, I guess starting the tradition, because they kind of did it in season 2 episodes in epidemiology, but like Troy and Abed being in their couple costume of Calvin and Hobbes, which is very cute. It's very cute. We get some punchlines in there because he's in the couple's costume with Abed instead of Britta. And yeah, so it's just we get some things out there, but like also like, can y'all stop making Britta and making weird awkward comments about Britta and Troy's relationship?
I wrote oh God, Britta and Troy's relationship is everyone's opinion. Everyone has a thought about it. And no one is shy about giving their open opinions about it in front of them, to the point where, of course, like, it must be hell for the two of them to date.
Yeah.
Because everyone keeps commenting on the fact that they're dating and commenting to each of them about how hard it must be to be dating the other person.
Yeah, it's literally because everyone sees Troy as like this sweet little dumbass, and Britta as like this older disaster, and I think they're just mostly worried about Troy. Even when Britta and Shirley had their little aside, like, I don't know. It's literally just everyone is concerned that Troy doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that
Can you imagine starting to date someone and everyone in your circle, like, can you imagine starting to date someone? You'd start dating somebody in your circle, and everyone in your circle out loud keeps commenting on the fact that you and this person are now dating, and how weird that is, and how weird it must be for each of you individually for other reasons.
Yeah.
I'm sure also everyone in the group has their own ships in the group. Like,
I mean,
Shirley probably does not ship Troy and Britta. She's probably shipping like
Troy and Annie.
Troy and Annie.
Probably.
Annie. She's probably still holding on to that.
Yeah.
Annie Abed. She's shipping
doing
the
Annie
young.
Abed.
She's probably not doing
She
Annie
isn't
Abed.
shipping anybody with Abed.
She's not. Shirley Bennett
yeah,
is not shipping anybody
because
with
her awkward Islamophobia sneaks out sometimes.
Yes,
she is
yeah.
not
Well,
shipping.
and it's also just that like, Shirley loves him, but Shirley also recognizes that Abed is weird and doesn't think of him as a romantic partner for someone.
I also just don't think that she is going to suggest, Shirley is going to suggest that a woman get with a Muslim man.
Well, sure. I think that there's going to be some part of that, but I also think probably overriding that for Shirley, because she knows Abed, is, I can't even imagine suggesting someone try to date Abed.
Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah. No matter what ism it is. It is.
Yeah.
I definitely think
It's
that, like,
not good either way,
Sure,
whatever. Yeah.
Like, Shirley loves Abed, but she also views Abed almost kind of how Pierce views Abed, which is like, oh, there's something wrong with him. Like,
Yes.
he's the
Yeah.
weird person in this group, and we're never going to suggest a girl go out with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what. So it is strange They keep making it awkward. Like, they made it awkward last episode. They made it more awkward this episode.
I mean,
but it didn't matter because Troy is a sweet little dumbass, and he has no idea what they're talking about.
No idea what that room was.
Pierce's fucking red room.
His sex room.
Ugh.
And Troy in that costume gets in that swing.
A full-on bondage room.
Yeah.
I like that Shirley requested that he forget what he saw and that he also forget that she knew what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I wouldn't think anything of her knowing what it is until she says that. So then I immediately
I feel like it would
makes
be
me
normal
go,
for you to know what that is.
You're a grown woman who has been in several sexual relationships.
I think you had a baby.
I think you could at least
recognize
recognize the room.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
so then that makes me go, how do you actually know what it is if you are
the way
like,
she said it implies that she's been in a room like that.
Yeah, right. Because like if she had the way she said it then made me go, okay, so how did you learn about this? Because you didn't just casually learn about this. You learned about this in a way that like you feel that you don't want anybody to know that you learned about it.
Hang on, I'm gonna answer the question right now as to how she knows what this is.
Um.
Yeah, Shirley's read 50 Shades of Grey. That's how she knows what that room is.
Oh, does that come out around that time?
It was released June of 2011.
Okay.
So we're 2 years on. She's
Okay.
definitely read that book.
Okay, yeah.
100%. Shirley Bennett has read 50 Shades of Grey. That's why she knows what that room is.
Oh no.
Yeah, I believe that far more than Shirley having actually been in somebody's playroom.
Yeah, I don't know that she's ever been in a playroom. I would also believe that she's watched stuff that has playrooms in them. Like if you told me that Shirley stumbled upon and watched all of Secretary one night, I'd believe you. 100%.
Because she's if there's a playroom in Secretary.
I don't know if there's a playroom, but she definitely understands like that kind of play. Shirley seems to stumble upon movies sometimes that you're just like, why would you be watching this? Like she watched, that time she stumbled upon and watched a Charlie Kaufman movie in the middle of the night.
Look, there was a portion of time where VH1 played Secretary a lot.
Uh-huh.
Now, obviously, it was the edited version.
Uh-huh.
So I would believe that Shirley has seen Secretary. They're just, it's been a long time since I've seen Secretary. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there isn't a playroom in Secretary.
There probably isn't, but she would understand the dynamics. And then, of course, like I said, I think she's
probably
read 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it would be spot on for like her character to read smut.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I would argue, my belief, my headcanon, I don't think she physically owns the book. She has an ebook of it, so you'd never see her reading it.
Yeah, let me tell y'all, it was a little awkward riding public transportation.
It's 2011. It's 2013 when this is happening. She has a Nook.
So it was a little awkward riding public transportation back when like the whole 50 Shades phenomenon was popping off, because you'd be sitting next to like the 50-year-old woman who has like 50 Shades Freed in her, like she's reading right beside you.
She's reading casual smut at 8 in the morning.
And look, here is the thing. I'm not gonna act like I have not sat on public transportation and read smutty fan fiction, but it's on my phone. Nobody knows that I'm reading it. It's me and like just me in my business. Whereas like people don't know what I'm reading. They don't know.
This is between me and my loins.
It's between me. Like the person next to me doesn't have to know that like there's somebody getting a blowjob on what I'm reading right now. Whereas this is just,
damn, headphone warning.
Sorry.
Oh no, we should have said this so long ago.
Hopefully by the time that hopefully you realize that before I said blowjob.
If
you heard us getting into 50 Shades of Grey talk,
hopefully you headphones.
Hopefully headphones. Headphones 3 minutes ago. Go back 3 minutes.
So, but just reading it, and it was the weirdest thing because it's like they didn't connect those dots. Like that 50-year-old woman did not connect the dots between like I'm advertising that I'm reading smut on public transportation.
Well, it doesn't matter, because the thing about 50 Shades that was so fascinating is that it wasn't like it wasn't underground,
No.
right? It was mainstream. It was a cultural phenomenon. So it was completely unstigmatized to be reading 50 Shades of Grey.
It's so weird.
Which is just one of the craziest things that happened in the 2010s is that for 5 years, there was just a casual cultural run of just graphic smut.
extremely buttoned up, like women who have never.
The book club brigade was reading horny bondage erotica on your morning commute.
Yeah,
What a time to be alive.
It was strange. It was strange. I don't mind somebody reading smut next to me, but I don't know, something about them just like
You just don't want to know that they're reading smut?
Yeah, I just don't want to know that they're reading
Then
smut.
hang on, wait. Then I would argue.
I'm just sitting here like, why does this matter?
Wait a minute.
She can read. That woman would be perfectly fine to read whatever she wants. Me personally, I would be uncomfortable because I'd just be like, ma'am, you could be reading better. You could do better for yourself. Can I please? I gotta recommend it. What's your email? I can recommend you much better literature.
If I may, Jillian, what you just said was, I don't mind people reading smut next to me. I just don't want to know that they're reading smut. I would argue that you mind people reading smut next to you.
No. I just don't want to know specifically what smut you're reading.
So if
I don't want to know. I don't need to know. Here's my thing. I don't mind that you're reading smut. I don't need to know, random 50-year-old woman, that much about your life that I know specifically what smut you're reading.
But
I don't want to know that much about your life.
I think that's the only way in which you would know that she's reading smut next to you.
Exactly. But it's fine. You just be on your phone. It's fine. I don't give a shit what you're doing on your phone.
Right. You just don't. So you just don't want to know that someone's reading smut next to you.
I don't need to. Yeah, you can do it. I don't care. I just don't want to know. Like, you can do it. I just don't want to know that it's happening. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's I don't
wild.
know. It's probably how people feel about like whenever like their parents have sex. They know their parents have sex, but they don't want to know when it's happening. You're aware that it's a thing that occurs in that room that is right there. You just don't want to advertise when it's happening.
I gotta say, this is kind of different.
I
two
also
things,
agree that it's completely
they're a little different.
It's completely different.
But they do, however, depict your feelings on the matter, and that's what matters the most here.
Like,
I mean, we're debating. I don't want you to tell me about things I know that we all do versus I don't want to like know what kind of stuff you're reading next to me. Like they're not quite the same, right? Like I know everyone poops and wipes their ass. We don't need to like you don't need to tell me when you're in the bathroom, hey, I'm wiping my ass right now. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to announce that because it's cool. I understand that. But it's not something that you would. But I do think it's different from like if I'm sitting on a bus and I look over and someone's reading 50 Shades of Grey. It doesn't bother me. They're just reading a book on a bus. Now, if they're jerking it, right? Like if they're on the bus, visibly getting off to 50 Shades of Grey, just sit 2 seats down from me. I don't want you next to me. Like making a mess all over this public seat.
We said headphone warning.
A while ago.
Okay.
We're deep in this.
This is the Halloween episode.
Every one of our Halloween episodes is like this supposed to be. And do you not remember the first Halloween episode where we talked for a long time through the Mexican Halloween sexual position?
They always do
619.
Wait. Okay, yeah.
There's
Mexican Halloween.
weird sex stuff in all the Halloween episodes.
Yeah, the
I
last
don't know
one.
if there's weird sex stuff in epidemiology.
Which
Wait,
one's that?
What are you
aside-
talking
Last
about?
one?
What are you talking
Aside
about?
from
Shirley
Shirley and-
fucks Chang
She does.
in a
I'm sorry.
bathroom
I'm
during
sorry,
a
she
zombie
does.
apocalypse.
She does.
Yeah.
What are you talking
She
about?
does.
There's no weird sex stuff in that.
Fear and
Shirley
sex.
fucks Chang in that bathroom, and then later, when we flash back to that, Britta fucked Jeff in that bathroom too that night.
She did.
And then the season 3 Halloween episode literally features, and it's like several stories about weird sex stuff. Absolutely. Every Halloween episode that Community has some weird sex thing in it.
Damn.
And Pierce's fucking Pierce's fucking pleasure room is one of them, down to Shirley at the end of the episode being like, you want to come to Vicky's party? I have a mask you can wear. Doesn't even zip in the front.
She does. I think that's hilarious. But also, he has worn the GIMP mask before.
Absolutely, he has.
Because he wore it for Abed's. He wore it for Abed's Pulp Fiction.
Which we now know that he brought that GIMP suit from home.
I mean, did you assume he didn't?
I assumed he rented it.
You assumed it was a rental?
Yeah, I assumed it was hired. I also like that Pierce wasn't invited to Vicky's party, and it was pointed out that she stabbed him with a pencil.
I mean, but they have since been copacetic since then. I mean, he hired her to dance in his saloon.
But she needed the money.
She did.
Hard times. She did what she had to do to get by.
That's what her life became during paintball. I don't know that they're still on good terms.
And when she returned to normal, when things got back, she was like, I remember what you did to me before the war.
Britta has a great line because Pierce calls them to come help him instead of going to the party. And Britta has a great line. Calling for help. A classic call for help.
Britta has a lot of great, awkward lines in this episode.
She's so dumb, but it's so good.
And she's dressed like a ham.
But also, she gets Jeff to explore. She sneakily gets Jeff to explore his father issues.
I have so many things to talk about.
Okay. I just want to go ahead and point out, this is not me hating on Britta. She didn't have nothing to do with that. Jeff was literally bursting at the seams. Anyone could have said anything. Someone could have dropped a pencil on the floor and he'd have been like, crazy. Picked it up. I used a pencil like this morning just to write my father's number down when he would have told somebody.
I would argue that you should do more talking in your therapy sessions than your therapist does.
Does Jeff's therapist talk more?
No, I'm saying in a good therapy session, right? In theory, you would talk.
The therapist manages to just implant gets you on those.
Getting you to unravel the knot yourself.
Yes.
Britta is, as she says, in the zone.
I really feel like Jeff was just waiting.
Eventually,
he said he wrote that down 3 weeks ago. For 3 weeks, he has been like, how do I casually slide in that I found my dad? How do I casually slide in that I found my dad?
And I had my biggest
carrying it with him?
Why the fuck is he?
It's tucked into his room.
He is literally not wearing clothes in this costume. Annie's his ride. He doesn't have pockets. Why did he bring the fucking phone number?
I think that's completely
potentially going to call your dad from Vicky's party?
Yes.
No, he wasn't.
Yes. No.
Why is that
Here's. I mean, I'm not saying it's horrible or anything. I'm just saying
normal.
Oh yeah.
No, he wasn't.
I think it's completely normal. I think every day that he has looked at that, he has thought he's probably carrying it around with him in the hopes that when he finally builds up the nerve to do it, that he can just call it ASAP.
He was not going to do that at Vicky's
why not just
party.
save the number in your phone?
Save the number in your phone. He wrote it down and is literally carrying it as a trinket.
He's probably been carrying it every day for the last 3 weeks.
Absolutely he has. And again, he got dressed in a costume where he didn't have
his costume.
I have boxing shorts.
Yeah.
They do not have pockets. He doesn't have pockets.
Why don't boxers need pockets?
Well, because when they're actually boxing.
What y'all don't got nothing to
they aren't gonna have their
you don't have anything in your
before
pockets
the
while
ring,
you're
after
boxing.
the ring.
No, they have an entourage normally.
That's
with
literally
them.
what the cut man is for.
All right. Anyway, I was just curious about that.
No, they don't have pockets.
That's not that number is like. Now that we've seen the entire episode, that number's I don't know, the cherry on top to this outfit. The gloves that he's wearing.
Yeah, the gloves are his dad's.
Yeah, no, he's carrying tons with him. I guarantee you, if this had gone any other way, if we had rolled a different number for whatever this dice was, 100% Jeff was going to tell somebody tonight. He is wearing his father's boxing gloves and carrying the number. He was telling someone.
I don't actually think he tells someone. I think the reason he ends up telling Britta is because Britta for a long time, has insisted that he has issues with his father that needs resolved. And that goes all the way back to season 2.
Sure.
And so I think that nobody else is going to randomly manage to bring it up, including, because in part it gets leewayed in with Pierce's father issues, which again, I think everybody else in that place glosses over and doesn't point it out as a problem, but instead points it out as a punchline. But Britta is pointing it out as the problem with Pierce. I think everybody else, it is a random cast aside joke that they mention that he has father issues.
Well, that in fact Jeff killed his dad because Troy mentions it twice.
Yeah. So then, but Britta is like, this is something that needs resolved, which then gets Jeff on this whole train of like people resolving their father issues. So then he ends up projecting his own thoughts onto what she is saying is Pierce's problem.
You know what?
So funny.
I'll agree with that. I think that there's a small probability that if Jeff and Pierce had spoken, that this also would have come out.
Yeah, it could have.
But I do agree with you that
agree.
in terms of like the rest of the group, Britta is the most likely to have like gotten this far.
Yeah.
I would
with
also
him.
argue too. So, it's so interesting because I get what Britta's saying and like the unresolved father issues, but like Pierce is doing better. Like Pierce is, in a lot of ways, handling his dad's death. Mm-hmm. Like Pierce is actually handling it and is doing.
With his mom's death, he just pretended like she.
Yes, and I think that has a lot speaks a lot to the concept of faith and what you believe and how it helps you grieve. And I'm not going to get into that right now, but like. I do think he's handling his dad's death, and I think he's actually moved past his dad. I think the video game helped him move past his dad. Yeah. I think Pierce is.
Hold on.
I think Pierce.
There is.
Well, we know Pierce is a deeply religious man.
There is stuff.
So the ghost stuff.
No, there is stuff in
his house. Yes.
Like, for example, there is a painting of his father that has liar spray painted in pink on it.
It does, yes.
Like there's the weird thing of Gilbert being slapped into the family photo.
Yes.
There is.
Here's what I'm gonna. This is a controversial statement. We don't have any evidence that Pierce did any of those things. Because Gilbert's been living there for 6 weeks.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Until he saw the video of Gilbert standing over him, he did not know anything was wrong or amiss. He would know somebody spray painted liar in pink.
If you told me that Pierce doesn't always look at those posts, like genuinely, I think Pierce would have missed that. I don't. Look at how dusty his house is. Clearly, the man doesn't spend a lot of time in all of the rooms of that house. He clearly doesn't because they are covered. Like some of them are literally covered in cobwebs. Like there are parts of that house he just does not go into. I don't know, and I could be wrong, but I do think that there's an argument to make that some of the things that look like, wow, Pierce actually still isn't over his dad, it's because Gilbert isn't, and Gilbert still lives there.
I agree that Gilbert isn't over it, but I don't think that that's.
I think there's argument for both of them, but
so
the
too.
Rooms where those things are happening, the things that you're pointing out, those are definitely rooms that Pierce has been going in.
Like one of them is right outside the panic room.
And I don't want to say that Pierce is like.
Well, the panic room's not in his bedroom.
No.
And the panic room is absolutely one of the rooms that Jess points out looks like it hasn't been touched in a long time.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a panic attack at all.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Pierce has been in that room.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Pierce has been in the panic room.
But his father's study, I think he has definitely been in that room.
I think Gilbert has been in that room. I don't think I would argue I don't think Pierce has been in his dad's study.
The notebook that they were looking for was in the dad's study.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
He very specifically says that he says
that's where the booze is.
Exactly, and that's where he got his red water, as he corrected himself.
Yeah.
But that's not where the liar painting was, and that's not where the painting with like Gilbert's face
it's
up there
not.
was.
I'm just saying that could
like that room
would
looked untouched.
build an argument for There are certain rooms in the house that he is definitely going into, and I feel like the ones where his dad's giant face is are rooms where he's been going into.
Yeah.
I think he goes in there because that's where the booze is, and he hasn't restructured the room. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I can see it on both sides. I could lay out. What I'm saying is, I could lay out an argument that Pierce, that the relics of Cornelius that are still in the house are because Gilbert is not over his dad, and he's been living there for 6 weeks with Pierce not knowing it.
Yeah, and there's a good argument for both of them. I like the idea that Cornelius has been grieving in this house the entire time, like secretly.
Gilbert's grieving.
Doing
and
shit.
here's the other thing too. Here's the other piece on top of that is that we also know that everything that was supposed to happen about the ghost of his dad there, Pierce planned all of that. So a lot of the like Cornelius stuff around is technically part of the haunted house he's trying to use to like convince them that he's afraid that his ghost's dad is in the house, because all of that was a prank.
Yeah.
So like a lot of that stuff that's up of like, no, I'm not over my dad, and so I'm seeing a ghost. Like,
yeah,
it's part of the elaborateness of the prank. Like I said, I could make an argument. I've got notes.
No, there's
I can show my
arguments for
math.
both. Yeah.
I can show my math of how to get there.
I think that the show would just have to confirm one way or the other.
And it will
because
not.
There's no like definitive proof of who might have done that. And I think it'd be interesting if it was actually secretly Gilbert doing it the entire time.
That's my headcanon. My headcanon.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I just don't think Pierce is that oblivious.
My headcanon.
I don't think he is either.
Right. My headcanon is
don't think
all
he's that
the
oblivious.
my headcanon is this: all the Cornelius stuff we see in the house tonight is there because it's part of the ruse Pierce planned to trick them with the ghost in the house.
You think that those pictures aren't usually there?
No, I don't. I don't think those pictures are normally there. I think they're part of the ruse because he even dressed up as his dad. Like, that's supposed to be the thing. It was supposed to scare them into thinking that his dad was still haunting the house. So he put up posters and stuff, pictures and stuff of his dad.
Cornelius definitely would have had tons and tons of the man.
I don't think that stuff
got
wasn't in the house. I think Pierce. Yeah, I think that stuff was in the house because it's part of the house. But I don't think Pierce is just leaving it up and unresolved with his dad. I think Pierce planted that stuff in the house because he also took out one of the walls and put like stretchy putty on one of the walls. Like, it was an elaborate haunted house.
Yeah, why did I think that that's just how the house came? I forgot that he must have done something.
He did a bunch of he did a bunch of decorating. You have
I was
to
just thinking
accept
that's just
that
what
too.
the house is for.
Yeah, he clearly did a bunch of decorating for the haunted house, and Cornelius is the ghost that's haunted the house. Now, I do think there is also an argument that like some of the stuff that was done, Pierce might not know that stuff has been done to it, because I do also think that Gilbert is clearly in the house grieving over his lost father too. And I think that has a lot to do with like some of the stuff that's still in the house and just hasn't been thrown out.
Random aside, but like, I don't know. I kind of like the bones of the house.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
It
looks really cool. I like it.
I do like
the bones of it, not like
the actual structure of the house is interesting.
Like the structure of the
Yes.
house. Like whenever they were walking down the hallway to get to Pierce's bedroom, I was like, I like this.
The structure of the house is
it's
nice.
naturally creepy.
Everything in
was
the house
perfect
is
for a haunted house.
is an 80s disaster.
Yes, like there's and like most of the actual decoration I want to ditch, aside from like the LED pink wall can stay. Like that was kind of cool. But like most of the actual decoration I want to ditch, but like the actual structure and bones of the house, I was like, I kind of like this. Like it was 80s, but in a way that I enjoyed. Also, since we're talking about photos, in Pierce's bedroom, there's a photo of young Chevy Chase.
Uh-huh.
And so then whenever Jeff is going on his his projection tirade, that photo of Chevy Chase looks like it's staring directly at Jeff.
I
absolutely
kept looking because
you
I
were
was
waiting for the eyes
I was
to move?
waiting for the eyes to move.
Yeah.
That painting of Chevy Chase
Israel, probably.
is a real painting of Chevy Chase, and it was actually in his house in the first Caddyshack film.
Yeah. That tracks. That tracks. Like, because it's very much like very clearly, definitely a like from the time.
Y'all want to hear a fun piece of trivia? Real cool side note that the show deftly works in. The code is 1989.
Yeah.
And they say something happened on like April 30th. Oh, he bought the Panic Room on April 30th, 1989, which is the day that Do the Right Thing was released.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito is in Do the Right Thing.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Gilbert.
Ah.
Yeah. Gilbert's in. Giancarlo Esposito is in Do the Right Thing. Yeah. I liked that. I thought that was
I like
pretty
that.
neat.
That's
Yeah.
neat. That's neat.
I was like, oh, look at y'all making these little references
That's neat.
with your silly asses. Cynthia, oh wait, hang on. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Cynthia, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Did you know who Troy and Abed were?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. At first I just thought cute Tigger.
Of course.
But
Sure.
then I was like, that is not Christopher Robin. And the
No.
only other combination for that in my head would have been Calvin and Hobbes.
That's exactly who they
So
are.
that's, yeah.
yeah.
I at first I was like, cute Tigger, but then I immediately was like, no, not Tigger.
Watching the episode, I definitely was like, oh, I wonder if Cynthia has any idea who that costume is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do read the paper.
She says, oh my gosh. She says, pulling her glasses further down her nose like a grandmother inspecting your report card and wondering why this B+ isn't an A.
So Jeff said something weird this episode. I didn't even write it down. I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna have to vent about that one. He was like, Pierce isn't scared, or he doesn't need help. He just needs attention. The rant is, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing for this man. Just give him the attention. This whole episode, I was like, y'all need to check on Pierce just a little more. Y'all either need to boot him from the friend group or just check on him a little bit more. Because he's like past some of his dad issues, but something that I was saying all last season was, this man is clearly lonely.
Yeah.
He's at the stage in life where people are just, dying off. People are like moving out of his house. His friend group is like kind of pushing him out to the side because they're moving on to different phases of their lives. They're getting close to senior year. I'm completely expecting another villain arc, or I'm expecting another tumble down the rabbit hole with like some narcotics or something crazy. Because I don't think, well, actually I'm not expecting that anymore. Something that I thought that was going to happen because I thought he was going to like continue to be pushed to the outskirts, and I just kept thinking like, this man needs like a new family member. And then we got Gilbert, and now Gilbert's gonna live with him, and they're the same age. Mm-hmm. And they have
Gilbert's younger, but
Gilbert's. I was
but
gonna say.
they're around the same age.
Gilbert's younger, but
and
they are too old.
Their personalities are the kind that would revolve around each other because Gilbert needs to like help someone, and Pierce just needs help.
But Pierce even says, like, actually, I love that. I love they give that moment of like Pierce understanding that like I'm over Dad, as evidenced by the fact that I could use Dad as the plot point in my
butt of this joke,
as the butt of this like elaborate haunted house I put together, right? Like he's over Dad, but Gilbert, in that incredibly painful line, his absence took a greater toll than his presence ever did, which hits Jeff hard. Ooh, Jeff's face. But he realizes that like, hey, no, little bro, move in, because you clearly are going through it, and I can actually help you. Like, I can help you. And I love that they gave Pierce that line of like, he needs me to Annie. I was like, yeah, he does. And it's so cute that you'll get to be there for someone who, for the first time, Pierce needs you.
Yeah. But I
because no one has.
Yeah. And he tried to, there's so many times where he tried to take that role, like
Yeah.
Specifically with like Annie.
And Jeff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He keeps trying to be a
kinda,
mentor to Jeff.
Sort of, kind of. He wants to be
And
like...
Troy. He wanted, Troy kind of needed him for a little bit. He needed a place to live until he moved out.
Yeah.
That's why he, like, lashed out at Troy,
So
because Troy didn't need him.
This whole time, this is exactly what he has needed. He has needed, like, someone who, like, I don't know, doesn't artificially need him, temporarily need him. Like, you have family now.
Needs him, yep.
Yeah.
And this is just gonna be good for him. Anyway, I'm a little sad that we're not gonna get a villain arc, because obviously this is gonna be very good for him. He's probably gonna.
We've done
do
that
very well
though.
in
We've done
therapy.
Pierce the villain before.
And honestly, we
It
can't
was
top it,
good.
right?
We can't
Like,
top it. It was good. We can't go back.
Who's my villain this season?
Like, I do think that, like,
We can't top it. He was
honestly-
so good in season 2. What do? You're gonna circle those wagons again
like,
to diminishing return?
I love other arcs, but I do think that Pierce's villain arc in season 2 is probably the top arc of the show.
Oh,
100%.
absolutely.
If Abed's villain in air quotes arc was a little more insert everything that I said last season, that would have taken it. But
Yeah.
Pierce outdid himself.
Abed's run to not quite villainy, but yes, potentially villainy with they needed to do more, and see the back half of season 3 feels real disconjointed, and it feels like oh, why aren't we telling this story in the right order?
Yeah.
Right. But like, man, season 2 nails Pierce's arc. Chang has a great arc in season 3, which is just going fully insane.
I mean,
it's
I would
fun.
say that
It's fun, but it's not like deep. It's not explored. It is just a cartoon
I
villain.
would say even
Yeah,
that
if
is
we
a
put more focus
continuation
on
from
it.
season 2.
Oh, listen,
100%,
Chang's been going
100%.
insane since season 1.
Yeah.
Like getting Chang to the big bad was the arc of the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like
Which is why I wish First Chang Dynasty was the season 3 finale. Anyway, whatever.
Anyway.
Fine. Whatever. Not
We,
going
we already had that.
I already yelled about that.
y'all know how.
Did y'all hear the excellent callback in this episode? When they get locked in the panic room and someone starts knocking at the door, Pierce says to them, "Ghosts can't go through walls, stupid. It's not fire."
I felt like did we hear that specific line before?
Well, it's a callback to First Chang Dynasty when someone says, "You're gonna burn down the school and kill all of us," and Chang says, "Fire can't go through walls, stupid. It's not a ghost."
Oh, Chang said that.
Chang said, "Fire can't go through walls, stupid. It's not a ghost." Pierce here inverses it. "Ghosts can't go through walls, stupid. It's not fire."
There's
Great moment. Love that callback for me.
There's also Jeff has a great delivery. Whenever Pierce says something and he goes, "Yeah, no one's gonna call you Pierce."
Yeah. It's like, call me crazy, call me old. No one's gonna call you Pierce. I also really like Shirley's when she realizes something might come in and kill them. "This means we're next, and I care about us." Because Pierce is dead.
Because Pierce is
Pierce
dead.
is dead, and they're being chased by the ghosts. And she's like, "This means we're next, and I care about us."
I want to know why Pierce has so many red notebooks and so many different rooms.
Well, to be fair, and as Annie points out, as Annie points out, the one Annie finds isn't red; it's burgundy. It's like a burnt umber. But the one Jeff finds is
like
actually
bright
red.
red.
It's a bright red. Oh, I don't know how I skipped over this note. I just wrote down because, again, Britta killing it. Oh, I've been locked in way worse places than this. Not against my will.
Against my will. I love her. I also one of my
Wait a minute. We know that for a fact, though, because she locked herself in that cage.
I don't think that's even.
That's
That's
protest.
crazy. I was also just thinking about the cage.
I don't even think that that's what she was thinking of. Honestly,
I'm sure it's one of the times she was thinking of. But I was like, oh yeah, well we've watched you lock yourself into a cage for protesting, so of course we know that's true, Britta. But also I'm sure it meant kinky shit.
Britta also, whenever she goes, "Help me heal your heart hole."
Heart hole.
I love it. I love it. Like I said, she has so many lines that are said that are like written so awkwardly, but it's like to the point that I actually really like it this episode, which doesn't always happen. Sometimes with Britta, like, it's just awkward, but not in a way that it like circles back around to endearing. It instead just kind of stays in awkward. But this episode does a really good job of,
you know what I think? It's because of the ham costume.
The ham.
Nothing she
doing the work.
says
It's doing the work.
could be dumber than the costume. It's naturally endearing. It can't get worse than ham.
Yep.
Being ham.
Yep. I love it. I have thought about being a ham, like on the long list of Brita costumes that I've thought about wearing to Dragon Con. I have thought about being a ham.
Where would you get a ham costume?
I'd have to look.
I'm sure there's one on Amazon. I'm sure if I looked right now, I'd find one.
Are you looking right now?
I'm gonna Google it right now. Ham costume.
Hey.
While I'm looking for this, Sadia, any final thoughts?
I had one other.
Go ahead.
So there was one other. There is something that like hit me as weird in this episode, and it's that we get an establishing shot of Pierce's house, and I don't know that we have ever had an establishing shot at all in this entire show.
Okay, so it's actually, well, I also thought it was very interesting. And it's
I like maybe whenever we first see Greendale in the first episode, but I don't think we've gotten establishing shots since the introduction of Greendale.
I don't know. I will say that I thought it was very interesting that we were going to a place in this episode that only Troy has been to.
Yeah.
Like, none of the rest of them have been to Pierce's
Troy
house. Only Troy's been there. I cannot find the costume. I have found several other meets.
Yeah, it's
but
actually...
I cannot find exactly...
I thought that was on purpose, because it was the Halloween episode, and I thought we were going for creepy house in the middle of nowhere, lightning in the background kind of thing.
No.
It definitely, like, it works with the episode, but it was just weird because, like... I do think it's the first time we've gotten an establishing shot. I could be wrong, but
I mean, we got establishing shots of the KFC space shuttle,
but that was them walking up to it, right?
And an establishing shot of it where it was in the middle of nowhere. We also got that shot too.
Yeah,
like, we've gotten some, but you're right. It's not a thing that the show does.
Not the way like
frequently.
this is very. It was very like sitcom, right?
And I think that was kind of part of the. Nope, I can't find this ham thing. Anyway,
Britta's costumes are really hard to find, like online, to find exact or very close to what she had.
All right, I just found the squirrel costume.
It's really hard. I know it was on eBay.
I just found the squirrel costume.
The ham costume was on eBay
it's
last
not exactly
year.
hers.
Yeah, it's really hard.
That's actually a really bad version of it.
Yeah.
Sadia, any final thoughts?
I'm looking over my notes. There were tons of crumbs in this episode. Some of them were like kind of crisscross from ships that are currently not sailing because Britta and Troy are dating, but they were still there for some reason, and that has me worried about the future of Tritta.
Okay, all right. You're worried about Tritta.
I'm worried about Tritta Broy, whatever we're calling them.
Tritta Broy. I actually want to call them Tritta Broy.
Yeah.
Like, I want to call it both. Tritta Broy.
Yeah, I am worried about them. I liked Abed saying, watching Annie watch what's
Cougar Town.
Is like his third
favorite show.
That warmed my little heart hole.
He also watched Jeff and Britta argue about daddy issues and Muse. I remember when the show was about a community college.
Yes. That made me think about how was it last season or maybe season 2 where we were like, yeah, they don't really leave the campus for much, huh? But we got to see someone's house.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen
Annie's apartment and the boys' apartment.
And Jeff.
Oh wait. Yeah. Have we seen Britta's?
No, we haven't seen Britta's.
Wait, have we seen Jeff's house?
Yeah. Duncan stays with him.
Yeah, you're right.
There's
Jeff's
a whole
place. You're right.
party.
Yeah. Because Duncan stays there,
So
and
we've
then
seen-
Chang
We've seen
starts
the
it.
inside of it.
We've seen the inside of it.
And now Pierce's house.
We've seen Pierce's
Yeah,
house.
so now I want to see Britta's house. I want to see the dean's apartment. What is in the dean's apartment?
We've never seen any of the Dean or Britta or Shirley's like living situations.
Like we obviously see like the intro sleeping spots.
I was going to
in
say
season
in the
2,
beginning,
but not like the
yeah.
house, right? Like not like
Yeah,
anything
for
past the
this
bedroom.
Episode 1, yeah.
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 At the end of this show, they put in the code and they walk in. Why the hell didn't they let Pierce out? I forgot. When they did that, I was like, wait a minute.
What?
They
Oh,
had
'cause
the code
there's-
the entire
Oh,
time.
A scary
no.
thing
When they
happened.
opened the door, Pierce was dead in there.
Yeah. Why didn't they get to his house and just open the door?
Oh, they didn't have the
Then
code.
the code.
I thought they knew the code.
They
No,
found
they
Jeff
had to
found
find the
code
book.
in the red thing.
Yeah, that's,
Oh,
that's what
right.
they
This
were
was
looking
an
for.
entire Easter egg.
This was what they were looking for the book
and,
with the code in it.
Now, like Troy knew the code because Troy knew that had the date memorized, and it was
Yeah,
1989.
I thought Troy
but
knew.
Troy
didn't
forgot
know
that
it was the code. Yeah,
He either didn't know or he forgot that
Yeah.
1989
was
the
the code. He didn't know that.
He
I
just
thought that's
had it.
what their conversation in the beginning was.
No, it was just here's a list of facts I had to memorize
Yes.
about the house.
He was giving them a tour about the house and telling them what the panic room was because he had to memorize
random facts.
about the house as if he was going to give tours of the house.
Yeah.
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 I'm glad Troy doesn't live there anymore.
He does not.
I
He
felt
does not.
so bad for him when he lived there.
Yeah.
All right. This was a fun Halloween episode. Still not up there with Abed's Batman. So.
Yeah. I do think it's the last Halloween episode.
It is. I was wondering whether or not we should tell her. Yes.
Yeah,
this is
it's
the
the last
last
Halloween
episode.
How?
Because they, from now on, their premiere dates were like second half of the year.
Yeah. So this will be
So
the
they
last.
just-
Halloween's in the second half of the
It's-
year.
Like second
well,
half of
second half of the television year.
television season.
So the spring.
So like it
Yes.
had like a January to May run ish.
That's lame.
Yeah.
So this is, and actually this aired in that time period
In February.
but it is because
Yeah.
they had recorded the season thinking they were going to air starting in October 19th, and instead they got pushed to there. So we have a bunch of holiday episodes that actually aired
In the spring.
in the spring instead. But
Damn. So for the next 2 seasons, no Halloween episodes.
no Halloween episode.
No.
Well, that's what the movie is.
This is the last Halloween episode.
Yeah.
So
The movie is a Halloween episode.
So your official, Intro to Statistics is your favorite Halloween episode.
Still.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I guess, period. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, that's so. After
For
that,
now and always.
After that, where'd you rank them?
The weird zombie apocalypse one was pretty fun.
Epidemiology.
Yeah. Damn, I guess I rank them in the order that they
Were
they
released?
exist. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Okay, fair.
Sure.
Actually.
That's fair.
a great way of airing them.
I loved like the formatting of them like going around telling weird stories. Britta trying to deduce who's the serial killer. Like that entire concept was super fun and the stories were hilarious.
Fair.
But
In the order they aired.
Yeah,
That's it for
damn,
you.
fair.
For me it's 2143.
You liked this one better than
Then the spooky
the
stories.
stories?
Yeah. Spooky stories is my least favorite Halloween episode. Yeah. So I go
That is
to
what that means if it's last.
yeah, I go 2143.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Mine is season 2, season 3, season 4, season 1. Actually, I like season 1.
Mexican Halloween. Pierce and Starburns trading drugs.
Yep.
And need I say it again?
I think in
That is Batman.
I think in part it's because it is the least
Dead
high
last.
concept of
Oh
them.
my